Tristan with Nerdette's Newsstand, and with not much going on as far as news today, with nobody really wanting to hear about graphic novels or future state, I thought we would look at something a little more retrospective, but also at the same time, something that I absolutely love, and that is Alex Ross artwork. I have said many times he is my favorite artist ever. And I absolutely love the work he's done for both Marvel and DC, as well as Image and Dark Horse, and in some of the others, right? He is absolutely so talented, and the way he does his work is so realistic, it almost pops right out of the page, right? So, I have started with a top 10 of my favorite covers, and ended up being a 12 with an honorary mention, but this is definitely something that I love doing. So if you guys like these type of videos, let me know in the comments below, of course. And I definitely can. I can do different types. You know, I can do George Perez. I can do all different types of cover artists. Francesco Mattina, one even, you know, current to the 80s. So let me know, of course, in the comments below after this video. But we're going to start off with number 12, and that is a cover done for the Amazing Spider-Man 800, and it was part of the Go Down Swinging story arc, right? That he went up against, Peter Parker went up against Agent Anti-Venom, and I absolutely love this cover. The coloring is beautiful. The way it is very ominous is beautiful. I think that the way the facial expressions, even within the forefront of this, are really, really well done. And I will say, I had to make sure I did it. Add in a few Marvel ones, because if not, there was going to be no Marvel ones. I could pick 25, 50 from DC. So the next one I have is for the Incredible Hulk from 2009. It is a variant for issue number 600, and I absolutely love the way this looks. We have the Incredible Hulk here looking great. He, in the book, obviously goes up against MODOK and Red Hulk, but this cover is timeless, right? You have both versions, red and green, of the Hulk, both looking amazing. And I really do like this cover. We are going to get a little bit more into DC though, right? So the next one I have is Countdown to Infinite Crisis. And this is by Jeff Johns and Greg Rucka, Judd Winnick. I absolutely love this story. Plus this cover is timeless. It was a one-shot from May 2005. And it went through the whole Blue Beetle storyline when he ends up dying. We also saw Batman and Black Canary. We saw quite a few characters in this, Oracle, Shazam, and it was absolutely great. Now, the story doesn't have to be great for the cover to be great, but in this case, we got kind of both. So this next one is a cover of Alfred. And this is absolutely kind of heartbreaking the way you look at this. This is from Batman Allies, and I believe it also was on a story, Detective Comics one originally, right? And this is a collection of stories. So you have plenty of pencilers and writers, such as Gardner Fox, Alan Grant, Scott Snyder, James Tynion. There's a bunch. This is a collection of stories. And I just recently got this. And it goes from Batman 16 to a bunch of Detective Comics, Untold Legends of the Batman, Batman Annual. We all have so many Batman stories, but they're not Batman stories, right? They are Alfred stories. And that's what is so good about not only this cover, but this book. I absolutely love it. So this is another classic that I have at number 8. And this is Superman Peace on Earth. Another book I recently got. I read it before, but a lot of these things I buy digitally to reread. And it was written by Alex Ross and Paul Dini. Alex did all of the artwork within it. And this story, if you have not read it, I highly suggest it. It opens up with Clark remembering back to being on Smallville and the golds in it, everything beautiful. And he kind of remembers this story about his father about how some seeds would blossom right away, right? And other seeds would need a little extra care. And it's kind of how he relates, to the human life. Some actually need a little extra care, a little nourishment and growth. And this leads us to a whole storyline about poverty, but more about Superman not being able to inflict his will and his thoughts on other people, but he can join in and help because he can't help everybody. And he doesn't like that he can't help everybody, but he can help in the fight, right? So I love this story. One of the best. The next one I have is for Marvels. And this is a beautiful cover. It's from February 1994, Marvels number 2. And it was written by Kurt Busiek. They worked together quite a bit. My honorary mention is also one from Kurt Busiek's stories. And it's just, it's set in the mid-1960s, the story at least. And you follow kind of Phil Sheldon, who was a reporter, and follow him around. And you go to these mutants, and they are, oppressed. And the story of this of the mutants. But it's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I absolutely love the perspective of everything around it. So the next one I actually have is a Joker cover, and a lot of these covers are destined to my liking, right? They're kind of cliche to what I personally like. And if Joker was real, this is how I feel he would look. This is from the Greatest Stories Ever Told, right? And that was a bunch of writers. Another collection, right? So we've got Bill Finger in there. We've got Paul Dini. We've got Dave Wood. Jeff Leb, I believe. There's a bunch, right? And it is just, again, a collection from the early 1940s to, when this was printed, and we've got all the way through 2007. So I absolutely suggest this book if you're a Joker fan, and definitely, the artwork is what really, really draws you to at least the cover. Obviously, there are different stories within. So the next one I had to pick between two. There was two JSA covers that I wanted to include, and I could not decide which one was going to go where. So this is the first JSA cover we are going to see in this countdown. And this is actually for Justice Society of America. I am sorry, there is a difference. There is JSA and then there is Justice Society of America. Two different titles. So this is for number 14. Another story written by Jeff Johns. Obviously, if you've been at this channel for any amount of times, not only do you know I'm a huge Alex Ross fan, but Jeff Johns is quite possibly one of my favorite comic writers ever. So this came out in May 2008, and there is a bunch, if you know the GOG storyline that took place shortly after Kingdom Comes, this kind of goes along with it, right? But a little bit later on. So we have Matthew Williams, which is GOG number 2. And then we have a bunch of different characters within it. Obviously, with it being a Justice Society, you're going to see characters like Jay Garrick and Alex Scott, Carter Hall, Ted Grant, Power Girl, Courtney Whitmer, Jesse Chambers, all of which we see in this. And I absolutely love the fact that he demonstrates so many different one of these characters on the front. So the next one I have is actually a classic, right? It is definitely more of a classic than some of the others, which is Crisis on Infinite Earths. And this is a story by George Perez. He was the cover artist and the penciler within it. But we also did have this cover by Alex Ross. And then it was written by Marv Wolfman, who has made some amazing contributions to DC as a whole. But it was this multiversal catastrophe that resulted in the destruction of all of the other Earths, right? Every single parallel universe was destruction, and it recreated a single positive Earth, right? In an antimatter universe, but then we'll go into that a different time, but there was just that single positive Earth Prime, and that's kind of the long story of crises when it comes to the DC comics. There's so many, and that was kind of the birth of the crises, right? So this is my other JSA title I have at number 3. And this is such a classic, Justice Society of America, such a classic one that I have seen, multiple times when associated with Alex Ross. I love that Stargirl is sitting there all happy and with their arms up, and the rest of them are kind of, they got their arms folded or looking away. And then you've got Carter Hall kind of trying to get everybody to look. Cyclone, my favorite. I believe there may have been Justice Society of, no, this was it. So this was also another reason I love this so much is because this was the first introduction of Cyclone. And she quickly became one of my favorite characters while reading these. This was the next stage, the first of 5 or 4, I believe, issues. And Cyclone is wonderful. She's such a great character. And unfortunately, she's very underutilized. And I'm hoping she gets a true to form rendition when it comes to the Black Adam movie. So these last two were very hard to pick between, right? I knew kind of which one I would go with, but I love me some Kingdom Come. So at number 2, we have Kingdom Come. And this includes the first, you can't decide, right? The first 3 covers. And they were wraparounds. And they were absolutely stunning. And they showcase so many characters. And if you have I believe it's the Absolute Edition or the 25th anniversary, there is a little cheat sheet to tell you who everyone is, because some of these characters, like Joker's daughter, you would never recognize. Even like how Thunder looks and some of the others, or Lightning rather. I absolutely love these covers though. They are beautiful. They are realistic. And we still have a beautiful Power Girl with a beautiful boob window. Can't get rid of that, right? So, at number 1, my most favorite cover ever when it comes to Alex Ross. I have loved this cover since I first seen it, which would have been when it was released with Batman Harley Quinn. Absolutely beautiful. And the thing about this cover, it is used so often in different iconic scenes. We saw this redone in actually Suicide Squad, right? They did that whole little thing. We saw it redone in Gotham. We saw it redone in Punchline number 1. This is so iconic to the Harley Quinn brand that everybody that's a Harley Quinn fan or even, normie fan would know this cover. I absolutely love it. It will be my favorite cover of his, no matter how many releases in the future. Till the day I die. It's beautiful. So this was a story, Batman Harley Quinn was a story written by Paul Dini, and it was released in October of 1999, I believe, and it was Harley Quinn's first appearance, right? And that is very important because she started off in the animated series. So this, to me, when I got it, I was 12. I guess I would have been 14 when this came out. No, I would not have. 99 minus 86, so 13. When this first came out, I was in love. Like, I felt like I knew and loved a character no more than this one, besides Batman. I wore this thing out, right? So, obviously, there is a lot of other characters in it. You're going to see Batman and Alfred and Joker and Poison Ivy and Penguin and Dr. Arkham. But even so, this story, if you like Harley Quinn at all, and I am not talking current rendition of Harley Quinn that is an anti-hero, I am talking older Harley Quinn that is straight up villainous. This story is something you have to read. Should be first, and then Mad Love, and then Harleen by Steven Stajek. All books that are at my top 10 favorite books ever. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite Alex Ross cover is, and let me know if one of them is in the countdown, or if I missed it, let me know. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.